Hello, and we are back with our Batman the Animated Series episodes, commentaries. And today's episode is gonna be one that is very unusual because it's basically a comedic episode in this show. The Man Who Killed Batman. A great episode, and as usual, let's watch it together in my countdown. So you can watch it in your DVD box set or Blu-ray box set or streaming service with Batman the Animated Series. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, give it a play. So the Warner Bros. Logo is on the screen. And yes, The Man Who Killed Batman is an episode that I believe the original story comes from the comics. I'm not sure about this information now, but I think so. And, well, I'll have to check this later. But the idea is that we have a story that is seen by the point of view of another character that is not Batman. In fact, we have very little Batman in this story, which is great because it gives fresh air to the whole plot. So, it's an episode that I really like, and I also believe it's on those lists of top 10 best episodes in the show. So, in the end of this season, we are approaching the end of season 2. We have many great episodes that probably are on that list. Last or 2 weeks ago, we saw the episode I Am the Night. That is one very deep episode, and now we have a switch. And last week we had Off Balance, but now we have this very light episode in terms of tone. And the story starts with this guy running in the rain, going somewhere in a rush. And he's walking down the street, and it's raining heavily. By the way, great animation right from the bat. We have we don't know who this guy is, but he just stepped on a newspaper on the floor, talking about Batman's lamps. So there is a hint that in this episode we have a mystery, or at least a mystery that is the starting point of the plot. And we learn that this man is going to the mansion of Rupert Thorne, the great mob boss from Gotham City in this show, right? And so here we have Sid. This man's name is Sidney, but they call him Sid the Squid. That's his nickname, and he works with the mob, even though he's a very tiny, short guy, baldy, wearing glasses. So your usual pathetic figure, right? That it's not fit for the mob. But anyway, he sits on Rupert Thorne's couch on his mansion and starts to talk about a story that happens with him. And the idea is that there was gonna be this criminal action that he was participating along with some fellas, some other guys who work for the mob, and they were at the dock. So the story is told from his point of view, right? The point of view of Sid. And since he is this pathetic guy, the other guys, the other gangsters, they don't really respect him, or they put him down all the time, and the idea is that they have to do this robbery, which I'm not sure right now what it is exactly. I don't remember. This is, again, like I always say, I watch these episodes along with you. And this one, it has been a while since I have watched. And the guys tell Sid to stand on the top of the place they will rob, and as a bait for the Batman. So yes, the Batman arrives and finds Sid on the top on the roof of this building, and he's playing with. He's a very childish guy, so he is playing using his hands to make a theater in a wall, and telling himself a story about how Sid the Squid became this fearless mob guy in Gotham. So the Batman arrives, and we see this is a very funny scene because Batman is interrogating Sid, and the guy he steps on his own flashlight and falls over Batman. And then Batman tosses him away, and he spins on this metallic hanger, I don't know what it is, or antenna, and swings right back at Batman and knocks him down. So it's a very almost a Three Stooges scene, and I always love this dialogue where he says, "I'm sorry, are you okay?" And then Batman goes, "Step away, back off." And Sid backs off, and he's so clumsy that he ends up falling from the roof. And Batman actually gets to help him, but when he tries to push or to pull Sid back to the roof, Sid pulls Batman's cape and ends up pulling Batman, from the roof, and Batman falls from it. And seconds early, when Sid was about to fall, he knocked a brick onto a gas tank on the side of the building, right? So there was this gas leak, and when Batman fell from the roof, there was this big explosion. We don't see what happens to Batman, but it becomes, a possibility that he died in these explosions. So the guys who were working with Sid, they watch the whole scene and they go, "Wow, Sid killed Batman." So it's very funny because they go back to their hideout, and everybody is celebrating Sid for his action, right? For supposedly having killed Batman. They are not in the hideout. That's what I say about sometimes I don't remember things of the episodes. They are in a bar, right? So in this bar, since they are celebrating the victory of Sid the Squid, or the fact that he killed Batman, and his name is going to be very famous now. The other guys in the bar, they go to him with the intention of killing him now, because they want the fame of being the guy who killed Batman, right? So this huge fight starts in the whole bar, and we have different funny moments during this fight. Even the bartender participates in a very discreet way, dropping one of his cups on the head of some goon that is fighting near the balcony of the bar. So yeah, the cops arrive, and they all put, they put all the criminals behind bars, and Bullock comes to Montoya. Montoya is passing by the cells, and Bullock comes to her with the news that Batman is dead. And yes, and they don't know how, but apparently it is true. The commissioner is devastated, and he comments that the cops are all after this guy called Sid the Squid, and barely they know that he is in one of the cells. So Sid starts to shrink on a corner, and Bullock starts to ask questions to everybody if they know this Squid guy, and nobody says a thing. And then we have the appearance of Harley. Harley Quinn shows up as a lawyer, and she paid the bail to release Sid the Squid. Yeah, so and this is going to take to another fantastic and comic scene in the episode, because she takes only him from the cell, and we know where this is gonna go, right? She's gonna take him straight to the Joker. So we have this very funny scene where Sid is inside the limo, being taken by Harleen to some place, and he starts asking questions, and she starts to put some makeup on, so she's transforming right there inside the car into Harley. He goes, "Wait, I've seen you. You work for the Joker." And then we have this fantastic appearance of Joker in the episodes. And of course, Joker is not happy with the whole Batman is dead story, right? He pretends he is happy, but he's actually very jealous and very sad, right? With the whole, or upset with the whole ordeal. And he tries to shake Sid's hand, but there is a spike on his glove, and Sid realizes this before shaking his hand. So yeah, we're gonna have many funny scenes from now on with the whole Joker mad about the Batman being dead. And this is what's so funny about this character, the Joker, when we talk about his relationship with Batman. He has this kind of dependent relationship with Batsy, because he only does what he does because of Batman, right? Apparently there are stories in the comics where the Joker decides to become a straight guy and live the criminal life if Batman disappears, right? So he does what he does to show Batman, to have Batman in his life. It's one of those crazy relationships of he adores Batman. He adores the hero, which is something that we see very well in The Dark Knight, right? You complete me. Batman gives all the attention that the Joker needs in his crazy mind. So we have this amazing scene where the Joker enters a jewelry store to commit a robbery, and once Batman doesn't arrive, he simply becomes depressed, disappointed, and Harley is all happy about stealing some jewels. She grabs many, but then the Joker says, there is a certain rhythm to these things, or a certain chronology. I cause some trouble and he shows up and we have some fun. But now he has the feeling that he won't show up. So he tells Harley to put everything back in its place because without Batman, crime has no punchline. So for the first time, the clown gets to cry in the stories, right? And they held a symbolic funeral to Batman in Ace's Chemicals. They put the cowl and the mask of Batman inside the coffin, and the Joker starts a speech, which is one of the funniest he has ever done in the show, because he says, "With the death of Batman, we have the death of a dream." And probably this is one of the best Mark Hamill's performances in this show, right? I mean, the dialogue is so good. The speech is so funny, and we have Harley weeping and devastated as well. And the speech is about how the Joker and Batman had so much fun during the years, but of course that the plan is not just to have a funeral for Batman, but also to kill this pathetic and useless guy who supposedly killed the Bat. And so they obviously gotta put him inside the coffin and drown it. I mean, drown the coffin inside the chemicals of the factory, or even in the vat of acid that transformed the Joker. But I suppose in this case, it really is acid that is going to melt Mr. Squid for good, instead of just transforming him into a clown with white face, right? So they shove him inside the coffin and starts to descend the whole thing into the acid. And the coffin is locked, so he cannot get out, right? And we have this great scene where Joker starts to cry. And he really cries. I mean, there's a tear coming down his eye. And once the coffin disappears in the acid, he goes back to normal immediately and tells everyone, "Okay, this was good. Who's up for Chinese food?" So, yes, a very comedic episode. And then we have Sid inside the coffin. He still is alive because the coffin is protecting him, for at least for now. The acid starts to melt its way into the coffin, but then the whole thing opens and a huge light shows up. And once Sid is able to leave the coffin, he is actually on the shore of a lake nearby Ace's Chemicals. And this is where he finishes this story to Mr. Thorne. And apparently Thorne is also not happy with the idea of Batman dead. So, like any mob boss, he suspects that Sid is actually trying to play some game with him to try to fool him in the drug race on the streets of Gotham. Yes, he suspects that Sid is trying to interfere with his plans, so he grabs a gun and he's gonna shoot. Sid. They actually hear a shot, but it's not from Thorne's gun. It comes from outside, and suddenly one of the Rupert's bodyguards is tossed inside the room, and Batman shows up again. A great and triumphant resurgence of him in the episode. So Thorn tries to actually he points the gun to Batman, and a batarang is thrown on the gun, and then we're gonna have Batman doing what he always does with Rupert Thorne. He beats the shit out of him. And he says that's for the drugs, because this TV show is a, adult, a very heavy show, right? So, by the way, a great animation in this episode. Also one of the best in terms of the animation itself. Very well done by the studio that's produced it. We all know that Batman has this variation of great episodes in terms of the animation and some that are not so good, but this one, which for this light plot that is a not dependent on heavy, animation because of any particular villain like Clayface or something like that. It's very interesting that it is one of the best in terms of animation. And at the end of the story, Squid tries to, escape from Batman discreetly, but of course he won't be able to because he still committed a crime. And Batman tries to cheer him up, saying, well, with your name, you could have a big fame on the prison and nobody would touch you. So the end of the episode, we have Sid going into a Blackgate prison and being celebrated by the other inmates. So a happy ending for the guy. And this is it. The Man Who Killed Batman. This is a great episode. I really like it. What about you? What did you think? As usual, if you are liking the content of BATGUS, don't forget to leave your beloved like in this video and your most welcomed subscription in this channel. We still have a few subscribers, but this channel has a lot of things that everybody loves about Batman and DC Universe, so help me please to get to have more subscribers so we can keep talking about this great universe that we love more and more in the future, alright? See you in the next Bat video, and bye-bye.